So here we are again over Creech and Dogbone Lake, just to talk about the last bit of sensor integration in the Hornet, which is the TGP use and how the waypoint designate functions in DCS Hornet 2.56. So what we're briefly going to show is something that happens with the current implementation of the waypoint designate function and the slave on the TGP. So at the moment, the TGP is caged to a head. And if we hit waypoint designate, it will slew automatically to waypoint 1, which is now the target. If we untoggle that, it will go back to its bore-sighted position-ish. It doesn't, interestingly, go all the way back to caged, which is up there. It goes somewhere else. We can slew the TDC around, and if we designate a waypoint, it's currently masked. We can slew straight off that if we want to. You can see the TGP marker is moving around as we do that. And if we cage the TDC again, there it is up there. We're going to slew the TDC over a little target at Creech, and we're going to mark that with TDC to press. And now we're going to go target and waypoint designate, and nothing's going to happen. So the TDC, the FLIR is not going to slew back to target because we have designated through the pod. It's going to keep that track position. Now, if I slew off with the pod, and go through the same cycle, hit waypoint designate, target, waypoint designate, it's still not going to automatically slew. And that's essentially because we've designated something through the targeting pod and not freed it. Now, if you recage the targeting pod, we're going to come around to the north and head up towards waypoint 1. There we go. You can see waypoint 1's our target point up there at the moment. I'm going to hit the autopilot. So we've recaged the targeting pod. I'm going to hit waypoint designate again. It's still not going to slew. If we hit nose or steering button, undesignate, and now we hit waypoint designate, the pod will slew. If we take it off, it'll return to where it was. We cage it, it's up there. Designate, undesignate, returns to this kind of weird bore side position. Recage, there we go. Waypoint designate. Waypoint designate, I can slew around. I can repeat the cycle. There it goes back. Waypoint designate, great. But if at any point I slew around and hit TDC to press, this function may or may not work, and I'm not entirely sure when it works and when it doesn't. I think, see, there you go. I've now slewed, I've hit waypoint designate, nothing has happened. If I undesignate and then hit waypoint designate, it will work. Slew around, TDC to press, you can see the diamond up there move to my new position in the HUD. Target off. Waypoint designate, you can see the waypoints moved, the Maverick Seeker head is queued as well, but the TGP is not. TGP undesignate, waypoint designate again, and there it is. If the diamond is not in the TGP box when you do the undesignate, this will not work sometimes. So we're going to go over here, we're going to do TDC to press, we're going to take the diamond out, we're going to go target, we're going to go waypoint designate, it's not done it, we're going to undesignate, waypoint designate, and it has worked this time. So just be a little bit careful. That undesignate step in the pod, if you're trying to re-queue the targeting pod onto a target, an INS waypoint. Just put the diamond in the FLIR, in the TGP field of view, in the TGP DDI, undesignate, and then just recycle target to waypoint designate, and that should re-queue your targeting pod. If you're having problems with it not re-queuing, then that undesignate step. Now, if you've got Maverick display on the other half, there's even more interactions that you can possibly have, because your undesignate may apply globally. So in that case, the diamond was over here, hit undesignate, and it affected the pod over here. And of course now, if I go waypoint designate, I should see everything queue, Maverick, seek ahead, the pod, all to the target. If I just recage the pod over here on the right, slew it around, zoom in, hit TGC depress, you can see I've generated a new target, the Maverick's queuing, etc., etc. I take this off target, I'm going to hit waypoint designate, but now just the Maverick's queuing because I haven't undesignated on the pod. I'm going to put my diamond across here with the Maverick, hit undesignate, it's affected the FLIR, and so now when I hit waypoint designate, you'll see the FLIR queues as well. Don't know if that's documented. There we go.